Hi, I'm Kim Van Borgendien, and I'm going to be talking about the findings of the IRI assessment that I did on Adriana. Adriana is 9 years old and is turning 10 this month. She's going into 4th grade and is going to be one of the older students in her grade. She's a very sweet girl and very caring and always wants to show me her work even if it's not fully completed. She works very hard but can be distracted at times and loses focus on the task at hand. She has 3 siblings at home. She has 2 younger sisters and 1 older sister, and she has a mother and a grandmother, but there's no father figure. She also has many pets that she loves dearly, and she's of Latino background where she speaks mostly Spanish at home, but from time to time she does speak English with her siblings. She's a struggling reader and is below grade level with a DRI score of a 28, which is just finishing 2nd grade. That's the level that she's at. When I did the IRI assessment, I found that her oral reading passage score was at a grade level 3 for instructional, and her silent reading was a grade level 3, where her listening was a grade level 4. So she's just below grade level. I also found out during this administration that Adriana had a speech impediment. She was unable to pronounce the letter R at times in most words. This is known as rhoticism. She also had difficulty with multisyllabic words, and I found an intervention program that I think that will work very well to help her with her reading and progress her back to grade level. The first implication that I found would be to recommend her to a speech and language pathologist because she is unable to pronounce the letter R. The speech and language pathologist will be able to help her with the muscular movements of her mouth in order to form and pronounce the letter R. Being able to adequately and appropriately communicate is considered to be a basic skill that is necessary for a child to acquire and thus actually adversely affects her educational performance. So I think this would really benefit her. She would work once a week with the speech and language pathologist, solely working on having her mouth and face muscles be placed correctly to make the R sound. There's numerous ways to do this. For example, one way would be making the L sound and pushing down on the jaw till you make the R sound, and then the speech and language pathologist can go from there. The next that I felt would be important would be to have team meetings with the speech and language pathologist and other teachers that work with her, because working together we can decide what needs to be done in order to make her progress through the intervention program positively instead of backtracking her any further. The other implication that I found would be the Wilson's Just Words intervention program that focuses on decoding and encoding words. This will allow her to become more aware and better equipped to take on these multisyllabic words. We will practice on tapping out sounds and segments to reinforce the reading of multisyllabic words that have 3, 4, 5, or even 6 sounds. We will be using sound cards that just look like this, where she'll practice her sounds for the letters, so and there's also your digraphs and your blends and all that will be included. In addition, she'll have word cards, which look like this, like captured or required or reflect. She'll practice those. And she'll tap those out. So like reflect, she'll practice on that and be able to segment properly. We also have our high frequency words such as jump, run, build, or pawn. And we'll also be using suffix and syllable frames and magnetic journals with letter tiles, which I don't have, but I did print out pictures to show you this is what the tiles look like. And the magnetic journal is just a little book that they're able to take each piece and put it on. And then we'll also use dry erase boards to help her with forming those words and breaking down the multisyllabic words and focusing on the segmenting of each one instead of having it be one big difficult word. We can look at pieces of it. The Wilson Just Words is very interactive and it's hands-on and multisensory, so it will actively engage her to keep her attention, which is another thing we're working on. There's also integrated assessments that we'll use for monitoring students' progress to identify strengths and weaknesses to help better plan for instruction. And the Just Words program actually has them built in. So we have formative assessments and summative assessments. The formative assessments are progress checks and unit checks to help see how she's progressing through and where she is on each skill that we're working on. And summative assessments are the review and the cumulative unit exams that deal with all of the skills to see how she's fully progressed all the way through. I will also inform her parents about her progress through the charting system that we will be using. So I will also be meeting with her throughout to show how she's progressing, and we'll actually chart that together. And this will give her a sense of understanding of her own learning, and we'll get to see her progress to help herself. And she loves seeing how she's doing. She always likes that positive feedback from me, so I think conferences would be really good to benefit her to get back at grade level. So I'll also be using this charting system with her parents as well as the other teachers and the speech and language pathologist to keep us all on the same page with our team meetings and to, discuss anything that we need to continue or need to improve upon to reach her fullest potential. The assessments are also directly linked to the intervention program as well as to the Common Core Learning Standards. Just Words directly aligns with the Common Core Learning Standards. It masters the foundational skills of the language structure, and it will provide her with strategies that will allow her to access the grade level standards. So the standards that align with it are knowing and applying phonics and word analysis skills and decoding, reading with sufficient accuracy and fluency to support comprehension, and demonstrating command of conventions of standard English capitalization, punctuation, and spelling when writing, as well as when reading, because we really want to get her back there. I believe that this intervention program will get Adriana to reach her fullest potential and push her back to the grade level reading as a fourth grader.